Previously on Coaching Minutes. A job is not just a job if you break it down into its components and areas. And these are people, money, technology, processes and culture, areas of expertise, and time. Today, you have been passed over for promotion. Perhaps the workplace is toxic, or maybe your manager is just a big jerk. I have experienced all of these, and I can tell you that while these reasons may seem logical, more often than not they are emotional. The workplace offers a treasure trove of experiential opportunities that you must learn to capitalize on. However, in the era of social media and immediate gratification, our initial inclination is to quit and move on to greener pastures. Viktor Frankl, in his book Man's Search for Meaning, said, "In some way, suffering ceases to be suffering at the moment it finds a meaning, such as the meaning of a sacrifice." Today I will change your perspective on the workplace and show you how to turn bad luck into a learning opportunity. I will be introducing a concept that I call the 5 learning dimensions of the workplace. So let's begin, Spartans. Let's start with the first dimension, people. At some point in your life, you will be forced to lead. And someone that is able to combine technical and soft skills is in high demand. Don't wait for the promotion to become a leader. In fact, you become a leader by displaying leadership skills rather than the other way around. Even if you are not officially managing a team, consider these 2 ideas to display your leadership skills. Reach out to your manager and propose a project. And while you are at it, mention that you need people to support this project. Successfully leading a team and a project is a sure way to bring you closer to the promotion you have always wanted. But sometimes, because of budget or staff limitations, it's not really possible for you to start a new project or even gather a team of people. If that is the case, there is another alternative: knowledge sharing. Back when I was at FireEye, I was the go-to person for analysis of obfuscated scripts and malware. So much so that I have organized online workshops and even internal material to help other analysts analyzing malicious code. In this way, I have established myself as an authority in malware analysis. Your knowledge sharing sessions can be online or in person and can be used to highlight some skill that you have that you find that it's quite relevant for your work. Knowledge sharing sessions are a good opportunity for you to highlight a skill that you have that you consider an asset for your team and even the company. And while this might not seem like a direct path to leadership, remember, a leader is someone that is truly proficient or even an expert in one or more areas. Expertise and leadership go hand in hand. The next learning dimension is time. Time management is a challenge for most of us, myself included. And the workplace is the ideal setting to sharpen this invaluable skill. Let's go over 3 ideas. The first one is that projects come with deadlines, pushing you not only to work harder and faster, but also to prioritize and potentially discard unnecessary requirements. The second idea is that if you are a manager or leading a project, the ability to provide accurate time estimates and deliver within the expected schedule is particularly valuable, especially if you are a consultant needing to estimate project costs for a customer. And finally, efficiency in running meetings and the ability to be succinct in a society that bombards people with unnecessary information are a must. Because let's be honest, no one enjoys spending an hour in a mind-numbing meeting and leaving with no understanding how they just lost an hour of their lives that they will never get back. And as they say, time is money. The third learning dimension is money. And regarding money skills in the workplace, you can approach the problem from 2 different angles. As an employee, knowing how to negotiate a raise or a promotion is essential, regardless of the company you work for. Getting a raise requires a combination of facts, such as metrics and the impact that you had on the company, and emotions, such as how your manager and your colleagues perceive you. Being able to sell yourself and present your contributions in a positive light is a critical skill that will help you not only at work, but also outside when trying to build relationships. Now, if you approach this from a different angle, the angle of the employer, an employee that brings in money is a catch, and the company will want to keep them around. Identify money sources or sinks in your company and leverage them to get yourself ahead of the rest. The fourth learning dimension is technology and processes. Back when I was working for Cisco and before I left, I found myself quite burned out and in need of a major career change. I started realizing that my passion was with automation, and I began spending more time playing with AWS for security purposes. Now, even though I had significant experience with clouds through side projects, I didn't have this experience professionally in a way that I could demonstrate. Now, I knew that at the time the internal SecOps team was working with AWS, so I decided to ask my manager to work with them while I was still leading the threat research team. After a few months, I had provable experience with AWS, and I decided to apply for several positions that require this type of experience. Eventually, I decided to go with my current company. Now look around. Which tech stack does your company rely on? Which standard processes and methodologies does your company follow? Chances are, all of these are used somewhere else. And if you learn them, you will be able to pivot to another position either within your company or even outside. Many companies offer internal mobility programs, but if that is not the case with your current company, just ask your manager to work with other teams so you can upskill. But you have mastered all the existing technologies and processes, and you feel like you have nothing else to learn. Well, that's no problem. Consider these two ideas. First, try to find and fix inefficiencies in the existing tech stack and processes. For those following my channel, it comes as no surprise that a problem-solving mindset is a money-making mindset. Alternatively, another idea is leveraging the company's resources to test ideas that benefit you and the company. As an example, you can leverage their cloud infrastructure to test a solution to manage threat intelligence at scale. This idea could quickly become expensive if you decided to test it on your own personal account. But because you are testing this idea using your company's infrastructure, you are spending no money while still providing value to your employer. Fifth and final learning dimension, culture. If you want to define a company, look no further than the combination of technology, processes, and culture. Technology and processes can be found in other companies. As an example, frameworks like Agile are quite common across the tech industry. These are usually the components of the job that most people focus on, and for a good reason. They can be reused somewhere else and make a large chunk of your CV. Now, culture, on the other hand, is slightly different because it's closer to the heart of a company and it is rarely replicated across an industry. Different companies value culture differently. Startups are more culture-centric because, at times of distress, culture keeps people together under a cause bigger than themselves. Regardless, you should not ignore the culture and the values of a company for two reasons. The first reason is that the culture, and more importantly, the values associated with it, can be worth embodying and pursuing if you want to become a better person and professional. The second reason, and probably the most important, is that the more you follow the culture and the values of a company, the easier it is for you to blend in, drive change, and be on the right side of major decisions. Ignore culture at your own peril. And there you have it, Spartans. The next time you consider leaving your job because you feel stuck, consider the 5 learning dimensions of the workplace that I've just presented. Are you really taking advantage of all the learning potential within your company? Or are you just scratching the surface? Think about that and let me know in the comment section below. Remember, finding meaning in your suffering is the only way to get through tough times. Until next time, stay safe, stay paranoid.